Yes, y'all. We are back once again.
Once
Yeah,
again.
once again is on. Doing it to you in the ear hole. Live on YouTube. Kind of. Sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
But yeah, we doing this still, man. Hey, how you doing, brother? Brother K? How you doing?
I'm doing cool.
All right.
I was gonna say Deacon PTFI because you said brother,
Brother.
Deacon with it.
Hey,
Nah, but brother PTFI, I'm doing good, man.
hey, long as you don't go brother on me. Brother
Ugh, brother.
I'm not even gonna
Ugh.
ask.
Oh man,
What's
don't
that?
worry. That's the beauty of editing, man. But yeah, hey, all 17 of our subscribers,
Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, we got 17.
we are growing, and we really appreciate it. I'm not clowning. We want to get that 17. And if y'all still down with us, we still down with y'all. And if that's all we end up getting, so be it. Because we know things are still taking off and it's still going on. This is episode number 6. Welcome, y'all.
Yeah, y'all special anyway.
That's right. Because
Yep.
on this episode, we are going to talk about our favorite bands slash groups slash artists, whatever. It's going to be our little favorite get down that we're going to share with y'all.
Oh, that's what I was meant to ask you is this just groups, bands, or
It,
or are we talking about artists also?
it can even be a publishing company. It
Yeah.
don't matter. It
Well,
don't
how
matter.
about we do this? Why don't we just make this a segment series? That's
Well, we can do
it's,
that because I know
it's
what
gonna be
I know
this one gonna be just long.
once we get to our favorite group. And I asked you this question last night, and you just tiptoed all around it. But I know who our favorite group is, and I'm not even going. I'm not going to ask you that question again because we're gonna probably have to do a whole segment on that group of individuals or band or all of the above. But we'll see how the time rolls and how interesting it goes and all that stuff.
I
So,
know who you talking about.
well, man, I see a
One of the bands is my backdrop.
See, that
And I'm just saying, man, it's like no matter what you do, no matter what you do,
hmm
when you talk about this band, you have to. It's never enough time. It's not like when they try to do documentaries, when they
Yeah,
try to do whatever little mini. It's not enough. You
right,
can't get to everything.
right.
And and P Funk, ooh, I said the name. And P
Oh,
Funk
see, look, I knew I
fans,
was gonna get it out of you sooner or later. See,
and
there
P
you
Funk
go.
fans, they want to hear it all.
Absolutely. So, guess what? All 17 of y'all that subscribe, we ain't starting with that band.
Nah, cause that's gonna be a whole nother show right there. That's probably gonna be a 4 part, five, six,
Oh,
seven,
I
eight,
don't
nine,
know.
10 part.
I don't know, man.
Like I said,
I don't know.
it's
We'll
never
see.
enough.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So, do you want to kick it off? Usually, I'm starting stuff off. Why don't we kick it off with one of your favorite bands, and then that way I can kind of see the flow of how you doing it. Then I want to be the learner. I remember I was talking so much one time. I said, "Man, are you still there?" You said, "Hey, man, I was in class. I was learning." So I'm looking forward to that. Getting some of this stuff from you, man. I see you got your water or your tea. I got my. Hey, we
Nah, that's
ready.
my
We
that's
re
my concoction with sparkling water, and I squeeze my own lime in there.
Mm. All
Uh,
right, you're gonna have to share that recipe after we stop recording. All right, so
okay, yeah, that's a secret one. Nah, but
all right,
anyway,
go ahead, man.
let me see. I don't know where to begin.
Hey, at the top. Wait a minute, hold on. Can I get some balloons into place?
Guess not.
No, I guess not.
No,
Not.
no balloons
Cut.
this time.
No balloons. All right.
Um, I don't know. Should I start alphabetical or
Man,
or
man, look, we gonna be all over the place. Remember that
okay?
album? You know that album we put out with Zoo peeing all over the place. We're gonna be all
Okay.
over the place, man. It's gonna be this way, that way, or the other. So, and
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to hit
we'll
them
make it
hard, but
happen.
you know what?
Come on
We're
with
gonna
it.
have to. I don't have any music, no sound drops from them
That's
though.
okay.
So
That's
maybe
okay.
we can slip that in and see if we can slide through the algorithms.
All right.
But
So let's
all
rock and
right, so I
roll.
don't know. Should I hit them hard or soft
Man,
or middle?
do
Middle way.
whatever you like.
All right.
Do what you
Okay. First.
like.
Okay. First up, outside of these guys,
Yeah, we're gonna get to them. Yeah.
yeah, but that's another show. Okay. One of my all-time favorite bands. Hope y'all ready for this.
Bring it.
Group called Killing Joke.
Woo. Okay, well, see,
Killing
I'm
Joke.
about to learn something. Bring me up to speed, man.
Now there's that's the gatefold album cover.
Mm.
The inside is,
Oh, they got some serious stuff going on right there.
they that's what attracted me to them was they had like that political edge to it. There's a band from England, UK.
Deutlich gemacht, dass sie nach wie vor an dem Treffen interessiert ist, in der Verschiebung keine Krise der deutsch-deutschen Beziehungen sieht und die Äußerung Honeckers in einem
It's like, what?
Interview, dass
Okay.
Reiseerleichterungen für
I thought some
DDR-Bürger
German thing took
wortwörtlich
over.
so, wenn Bonn die DDR-Staatsbürgerschaft anerkenne, ich den Charakter einer alles blockierenden Vorbedingung. So jedenfalls muss man die Art und Weise
So,
interpretieren,
oh man,
in der die
homeboy kind of
Nachricht
fucking on the bass, right?
Oh yeah,
And
that's funky.
the drum pattern was like the drum pattern like brought me back to Westlake in the band. You know, you was talking about the band.
Marching
It
stuff.
brought me back to that, yeah, because it had that military march sound, right? And just the snare and the kick. And yeah, see, and the bass player was like doing some thumping, right? So I was, and it went on for this song about like 6 minutes. So, and it was kind of like, it kind of put me in a trance, right? And I was like, man, who is this? Who is this? And you know, they didn't say who it was, so I couldn't find out. I was like, oh, I hope I hear it again. I probably will. But later in the day, you know, they came with something else from them, but didn't say the name.
Mhm.
And you know, it went something like this, right? It was started off with the bass, right? And it just was like, and this is what I was into at the time, something like this. So the bass player was Bruce. Now I still didn't put it together who it was, and by the time they played this one, uh,
Now all of this is still the same album, right?
it's the same album,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because I'm assuming the album had just came out, right? And
Mhm.
they throughout the day, the different DJs was playing different cuts off of it, but I didn't catch any of them saying who it was. And then
Mhm.
until this one, right?
Oh, they're in the pocket.
Hmm. I was like, man, the bass player, he on something, right?
Check them out. He going. Boom.
Now, dealing with Killing Joke, their their iconic sound is the guitar player.
Yeah.
And he's like so high up in the mix, but it's not. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. But at the end of it, they said who it was. They said that was a group called Killing Joke, and I was like, whoa, okay. So then, by that third one, actually, they played another one, but um, by then I was like, I got myself on the bus, right, and went to the record store, and I went and bought that. I went and bought that
Man.
album, and it was that one with the gatefold, and that was Jazz Coleman, lead singer, Big Paul Ferguson, the drummer, Martin Youth Glover, bass player, the original bass player, and Jordy Walker, guitar player, and he passed away, man. That was
Mm,
kind of bad. So that they were still doing stuff up until then, and then he passed. It's like, it's no Killing Joke without him. That's
oh,
the kind of band that is.
got you.
Like whichever member, like even when the original bass player left, they found another bass player. He was bad. He kind of changed the sound up,
Hmm.
and then they kind of were forced to go mainstream. But that was the bass player they used to do that, and they had a big hit called "Love Like Blood," which I'm not gonna play,
Mm, okay.
but that's what most people know Killing Joke from then on, from Love Like Blood on. Which when I get into my groups, man, I get long winded, so I'm gonna stop there. But I hope to continue because that's one of my bands I love talking about. So I can go on and on, but as far as the songs, you have to pick them. I'd have to like hand pick them for you to start you off on.
All right. What
I
drop
know
us
some of y'all will just pick the wrong song to be like,
to be starting
yeah,
with
I don't say how you
starting
like
with the
this group.
wrong step, right? So yeah,
Yeah, so
drop us a comment of which one of the albums you want to, if you're interested, drop them in. No, man,
I would say start off with the first one I showed you.
there you go. Man, I was trying to get us some more comments put down, from our 17 subscribers, but
Oh, well, hey, they can pitch in, but seeing that it's only 17, they probably gonna be like, nah, I think I'm gonna pass. So Killing Joke.
all right, man. Hey, I got one that's one. It's a full 180 from what you just got through going through right there. All right. I'm gonna share
Hit
my
me, man,
screen.
because I'm ready.
Okay, because I'm gonna share my screen, and it might make y'all say, "Well, dang, I see why Phil laughing all the time." And so, because yes, I
I think
love
I
to
know what
laugh.
you talking
You probably know what I'm about to drop on
about. I think
on.
I already know.
Yeah, man. Here we go. Uh, yeah, man. Me and my partner Travoy used to play this
Oh man.
album out in 1980, man. It was around that time, 81, 82. And
Mm.
I'm going to do a little different approach. I'm not going to really go down the whole history. I'm just going to say when I got on board. Because I had heard about, and you guys could probably see my screen. I got into Blowfly. I remember hearing rap dirty at a party, and I was like,
Mhm.
what the is that? I was like, wait a minute, that ain't good times with Sugar Hill Gang grabbing on top of this dude. Man, what the I,
Is
poof,
this legal?
poof, head exploded. So the little history on him, man, I took a couple of notes. Um, Blowfly is really Clarence Reed, and man, this dude I got had the privilege to meet him backstage at one of his shows he had did. And I don't know if you was with Cat Delic still, but were I don't know if were you still with Cat Delic when y'all opened for Blowfly?
Yeah, we up. Yep. Yeah, I was. Yep.
Wait a minute, man! You see how we connected, man? Look at this. See the picture that I got right here. That's
That
at
was
that con.
backstage
That
at
was
that show.
backstage at that show, man. I think Gina got us in for free. Me and Ricky Vincent, and I don't know if you can see that finger. That's Illenstein. I mean, he's always around,
Oh
always
yeah.
will be. Rest in peace, brother. But yeah, we were all at this show, man, and I got to meet this dude here, man. And as you can see, he's flipping everybody off. That was his thing. He just raw. But
But
man,
isn't that the ring finger though?
nah, that's his. That's his. Let me see. One, two. No, that's the FU finger.
Oh, that's his middle finger, man. I mean, that's his ring finger.
Okay, I
Blow that
mean,
picture up. That's some, you know, that's
man,
some
I
different
I, I
ish.
I ain't gonna mess with that, man. I'm gonna play a little some background stuff, but I know some of the old school cats might remember this one too. So I took the vocals out. Can you hear that, Mr. K?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, cool. So I didn't know that this dude was part of the whole Miami sound back in the day too, man. He has a documentary out. Um, well, some of his people have a documentary out on how deep he was, other than just uh, rapping and um, cussing and acting a fool. He was actually part of Casey and the Sunshine Band. I believe Gwen McCrae, some other cats. I mean, the whole Miami thing back then. He was a part of it. But he actually had told his sister or his wife that, "Hey, look, I'm do something different." And Blowfly was born, dude. I mean,
Wow.
and I tell you, I I give him credit because at the time, we had gangster rap and all. We even had Too Short, but before all that, it was this dude right here. And
Like a musical Richard Pryor, huh?
exactly, he said something right here where he says, in Hillbilly, you'll find some of the best lyrics and morals. I used to listen to Homer and Jethro, and they would rap most of the time. And they only didn't call it rap back then. They used to call it soul talking. As a form of revenge, I would take the songs like The Twist and I would change it. Well, I don't know if I could say names. Well, he would change it and it would be a little different, a little nastier. His grandma heard him doing this and she said, "Child, you're nastier than a blowfly." And that's how he got his name, from his grandma.
So what
So,
is a blowfly though?
hey, man, you probably got, wait a minute.
Gotta ask his
You
grandma.
probably got to ask his grandma, but yeah, it sounds like it's something nasty, right? So, but yeah, man, Blowfly has a special part. It's one of my all-time favorite artists, just from being able to do the regular stuff. Yeah, here's a list: Betty Wright, Sam and Dave, Gwen McCrae, Jimmy Bohorn, Bobby Bird, Casey and the Sunshine Band, and he
So
even
he
wrote.
wrote for those. He wrote for all those people.
Right. He even wrote Betty Wright's Cleanup Woman, which was a big hit. So to
Yeah.
go from something as big as that and then start doing the stuff that he wanted to really get off into, man, amazing. Um, I'm gonna pause this for a minute. I had something else over here. Yep.
Clarence Reed is one of the most talented people in the whole world.
A world-class R&B singer, writer, producer in Florida, who also happens to be the filthiest rapper that you'll ever meet.
There you go.
When I was growing up, my father used to listen
Yep.
to all these party records, and Blowfly was the master.
What's up? The first time I paid attention to Blowfly, it was like, okay, this dude, he's being futuristic, he's being adventurous.
Everybody early on in the rap business was inspired by him.
Little did I know that he was also Clarence Reed.
Jello
Clarence
Biafra.
was the center, the heart of it all.
The most important musical guy down here. Betty Wright, Gwen McCrae, George McCrae, Casey and the Sunshine Band.
His name was on all of those records, every one of them.
Yeah.
His writer's royalties are worth millions of dollars. He sold it for nothing.
Damn.
I don't like to talk about it because I get extremely pissed. Part of your life story goes in a matter of months. It's gonna be a spermy night in Georgia. A spermy night in Georgia.
Ah, Oh man.
One of the weirdest ironies to me is here's respected old school soul maestro Clarence Reed, but who still draws a crowd and gets to make new albums but Blowfly?
Clarence should have had so much more right now. So much more.
So what do you think? Do you think you're going to heaven or hell?
I wouldn't give a. I don't think I would want to go to heaven. If it's like the Bible said, that would be boring to me.
Oh man. Just kind of leaves me speechless, man. So if, unfortunately, he passed away, man. January 17th, 2016. One of the things that, and we may do a whole episode on ASCAP, BMI, royalties, and all that good stuff. It makes no sense that as talented and creative as this man was, for him to have to be out catching the bus, working from check to check. You know, this man had multiple hits, multiple songs. He owned the publishing and royalties, but in order to survive, he had to sell it. So it's bittersweet, man. I mean, as much joy and laughter that someone can bring to you, you don't really know the heartache and pain that some of these artists, especially the older artists, are going through. When you can see some of these 20-year-olds, bringing in $100,000 checks, and I'm not, believe me, not hating, because I'm trying to read up on how to get paid too still in my 60s, but at the same time, it's just really rough to see somebody like this to have to endure that type of pain on the flip side, just because, not that he didn't know the industry, but the industry was really hard on him. So if you get a chance, good people of the internet, go check out this documentary. It's really eye opening. Got some guest appearances with Chuck D and Ice T. They all giving their props on it. So
Yeah, he was something else, man. That was one of them where we had to sneak and listen to it.
oh yeah,
It's like the Richard Pryor moms had, but actually I bought that ends crazy with my allowance money, but she didn't know it was gonna be that bad when we I had to listen to it with her. When we said listen to it. She said, "Oh no, I'm putting this album up. You can't have this. I didn't know it was gonna be that bad."
she said,
What
wait,
about
wait.
my allowance? I spent all my money.
She said Funkadelic is one thing, but Richard Pryor is another, huh?
Yeah, and it was just kind of like if I'd have known any better, I'd have been, well, Mom, you knew it was Richard Pryor. You knew it was gonna be bad.
But wasn't at
I
that
didn't know it was
time?
gonna be that bad.
At that
Huh?
time, didn't he have a TV special around that time too?
I could, and I came out after,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
off of that album, but that one was like,
NBC knew what
yeah,
they were getting. They knew what was happening. But
yeah,
man, we
they had
getting
to
off. I don't
censor
know.
him.
Wait a minute, is Richard Pryor your next artist?
No,
Oh,
I was just that was a side note because it was like Blowfly, it's just like it just reminded me like it was just like the musical Richard Pryor,
I thought you was getting ready to pull up that "In Is Crazy" album in front of me. I
Nah,
was like,
that's
uh oh,
that
here we go.
nah. My second one is gonna be these dudes right here.
Whoa.
Slave.
Ah, man.
That's their third album. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite albums. This is the first album. Everybody know this one. Slide. Dum,
Doom
dum.
doom da doom 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 da doom doom.
But see,
Man.
that was the hit. I wasn't a hit person. And this was their second album,
All right, now what's your
which
favorite
was
couple off of that? Because I got two that I play to this day off that album. What's your two
off of
favorite?
which one? The
That one
second
right
one?
there. Uh-huh.
Uh Volcano Rupture.
Okay. Okay.
It used to be Baby Sinister.
Look, see?
But
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
keep listening. When I listen to the album, though, it's like Can't Get Enough of You
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
what's the first one they done?
Hey, but that's all right. I'm just saying, man, I see how we are connected because I saw some other cats reviewing the same album and they said, oh, this album wasn't one of the better albums. I'm like, man, y'all
Nah,
like,
it
okay.
because it came out after it wasn't going to be Slide, but
Right. And that was a
and
tough act
everybody
to
was
follow after that one.
everybody was looking for Slide.
Yeah, right.
Everybody slept on the rest of that album.
Right.
Screw
Right.
Your Wig
We're
on
going
Tight.
tight. We gonna get down tonight.
Yeah,
That was the jam. That was the jam.
that's man, they were played with my boys, man, because they they had their sound. Okay, the first album, it was uh, I mean, the set from the second album on to Just a Touch of Love, the
Yeah.
sound was heavier, like the, the bass
The
kick,
bass
the
kick
bass
and the
and the bass
bass.
kick. The
They
bass
were
kick,
they were communicating with each other, man.
yeah, and the bass kick moved air. Like because I used to sit there in between both speakers, left and right, right.
You said it
And I
moved
and I
air.
I'd be listening for little.
Wait a minute, man.
P-Funk got me into
Hold on,
that
man.
because you hear
Explain
little stuff in the
explain to the viewers that we have. What do you mean by it moved air? Because I think I know what you
the
meant.
low frequencies. What people call it, what the 808 does.
Hmm.
Boom. Okay, when you look at the speakers, when you playing a slave song from the second album on, when they doing some kicks, it's like instead of a boom, it's more of a
It's moving air.
it's moving air. And you look at the speakers, you can see it, it's coming out at you every time you hitting that
Ah,
foot. So,
yeah.
and then they got Mark Adams bass
Oh man.
turned up real nice, where
Oh,
you could hear his low frequencies when he's playing with his finger or his thumb, but then
oh.
when he's thumping and plucking, it's you can still hear the bottom in it. And it's just like,
Yeah,
Steve Washington knew what he was doing, helping mix them,
man,
man.
that stuff was next level. Our ears had to adapt to that much of a punch on the
Yep.
low end. It truly had to adapt.
And Just a Touch of Love album was kind of more commercial. That's like when they, you know, I guess that was the slide again for everybody.
What
'Cause Just
the
a Touch of
hit?
Love.
The hit. The
Uh,
radio. I hate to say this word, but radio friendly. People could adapt. And they could snap
yep.
their fingers.
And
Right.
Watching You,
Mm, oh,
walking down the street, watching ladies sipping on
um,
gin and juice. Nah, but that's where they got that from.
what?
But yeah, Watching You, uh,
Yeah, man.
uh, um, what else is on there? Foxy Lady, uh, Are You Ready for Love? That whole album is smoking. Shine, that was my favorite one on there. And but the third album, The Concept. I know we running out.
Yeah,
We run
that's
out. We'll
cool.
edit that.
Yeah, we
But
got you.
I think I want to get into that third album after we come back.
Okay. Hey, so so
We'll
so
edit
so
that.
stay tuned. Hey, so stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna take a break and we'll be right back right after this. And we are back. All right. You said you were gonna talk about that concept album. So let's get with it,
Yeah,
man. Let
the
me see
third
what you're
album.
talking about. Yeah, that one was hitting too.
Yeah, it's the back.
Oh yeah.
See the whole.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the album that had. Oh boy. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull this one up here.
Oh yeah.
Uh huh.
Let the horns
Now
let the
I'm gonna
horns
let that.
blow.
Yeah. But now check this out. Check.
Right.
Hmm. I know y'all know that sound. That the vocoder, or is that the talk box?
That
Which
sounds like
one
the
is it?
talk box to me right there.
Exactly. See? Now everybody get down with us now. Everybody that used the talk box during that time, I think it was Rufus
Tell me
featuring
something
Shaka
good.
Khan. Tell me something good. That was the first time I heard the talk box being used. But I know it's been around since way before that.
Oh yeah,
But
like Peter
that's what I
Frampton.
remember.
You remember Peter Frampton?
Yeah, but that was after Rufus, I believe. But
Oh, okay.
there was this guy, this I forget his name, but he played a lap steel guitar and he had like this talk box sound with it. So you have to. Oh man, he had some weird sounding talk box sound too on it, and that was like back I think in the 50s or something. So it's
Oh,
been around.
oh yeah.
It's been around, but but yeah, I remember hearing "Tell Me Something Good," hearing that talk box, and then yeah, the most popular one was of course the Peter Frampton live. Baby, ooh, that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay,
remember
but
that.
we on Slave
I
though.
remember that loop.
Yeah.
A
Oh
rhyme,
yeah,
a rhyme and a hook. A rhyme and a
I'm
hook.
having a hook.
That's another
Okay,
whole
so
different
yeah,
episode too. Okay.
so that Stellar Funk, that was the number one hit off of this album. But I'm gonna go now. Everybody will talk about this one, Just Freak, but I'm gonna talk about this one here coming soon.
Okay.
Now,
Oh yeah,
okay, now this one's coming soon, right?
man. I didn't really get into that one, but I started to hear Philly Phil play it back in the early days when he was on FBRN radio, and I was like, man, I
Yeah,
slept on this.
yeah, a lot of people did. This one was because it kind of, I don't know maybe it's a little too happy sounding or something, but it's setting you up though.
Oh yeah, and because the bass
It
just comes
sets
in
you up.
killing. Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder if I can skip to it.
Oh, it's coming up.
Okay, but
See, I thought it was coming right there. No, my
no,
bad.
it's got a minute to get there, but this is what I'm talking about. If you listen to the mix, here it go. No, it's coming up.
See,
The next one.
they faking
Okay,
this
here it
out.
comes. It's about to come now. Yeah, it's like right
Here we
now.
go, y'all.
Hear that? Pulling them strings off, ain't you? Pulling them off.
That was that lick right there. You hear that?
Yep.
A bing ding.
Yep. He pulling the string off. and see, I think this is kind of like, I'm gonna tie this into like Nirvana or something. See, they start off like this kind of melodic, beautiful stuff, and then they go into that's like the formula Kurt used with with Nirvana. Start off with a little melodic something, then he get angry.
Then get angry.
So
Where have I heard that term before?
I know, and then of course you had this one. Rack is back. See, I mean, the mix on this album, to me at the time, I felt like a lot of people should have had this kind of mix. Okay, look.
Here I come, Drac is back to get it to you and let it hang. I want to give it to you the way you always want it.
Okay, so,
Make you shine.
and then the funny thing about this one is, he gonna do the same thing. Listen to Mark Adams. Now he got the neutron on there with an octave. Oh, Drac comes in, hollering. Okay, now opens up side two. This is for all you vinyl junkies. That when you have the album, Drac is back ends it, side one, and then side two starts off with this. Basically, the instrumental track to Drac is back.
Here I come, Drac is back.
He'll say this, well,
Let it hang.
I'll say without the guitar solo.
Always wanted.
Doesn't have the guitar solo.
I was about to say, it sounds like the same song.
Nah, it's like once it comes back from this part right here, and then you'll hear them pull it out, like they punched it out. You'll hear the guitar, you hear like a little bit of the first note. Here it come right. Listen. Here it come right here. It went chush. So they pulled it out.
But that groove is 100% the same, ain't it?
Yeah, it's the same song.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Okay,
track.
no, that's what I was saying. Okay, I thought you were saying no, it ain't the same. I'm like, man,
yeah. So and I mean, I'm just saying this album was.
Oh yeah.
And now this is where you can hear what I'm talking about in the foot, how it's moving air. See, and you're gonna have to listen to this not in your headphones. You have to listen to this on a sound system. You'll hear that bass kick move air. You'll feel it. And I'm gonna get to this part, and then I'm gonna cut it. This part right here where it goes into the Mark Adams Drac thing.
This is sick right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's unlawful.
And this is the classic Slave formula that's what won me over with this album. And even though I like the second album, Volcano Rupture, but this third album did it for me. And then by the time, when they did Just a Touch of Love, it turned into, it was commercial.
Yeah.
And then after that, of course, most people remember Stone Jam album for Watching You. And that's where Watching You came into play. Yeah, I gave it up on that one where I said where it came from. Walking down the street, watching ladies, sipping on gin and juice. That's where they got that hook from.
Of course they did. Hopefully they gave them some credit on that.
I think they eventually
on using that likeness. You know what I'm saying?
I think they eventually did. Some people had to make some noise. Yeah. And now the sad thing about Slave was, we lost the bass player Mark Adams through some mysterious circumstances. I don't even think they've solved that one yet. Nobody knows. Nobody seems to know what happened. And I think it was a few years later, we lost Drac.
Yeah.
Now we'll put the dates up.
Yeah.
Because I don't have them right now, but those are two members we lost, and I think recently we lost Danny Webster, I believe.
Oh man.
I don't know, but then they, but this band after Steve Washington left, they had to get in. I think they had Kurt Jones and Starlina Young.
Yeah.
They formed Aura, which
man.
had that hit "Take Your Time." Time.
And that was a unique sound at its time because the way that the bass was so dominant, it sounded like a synthesizer, but it still was that, coming back on top of it, right? And
that's that Steve Washington.
But he wasn't scared to go.
Exactly. He knew, and that's what I'm saying. He helped Mark develop that sound for their albums That's what a lot of people don't understand. Steve Washington, man. But then by Stone Jam album, that's when he left.
Yeah.
He left, I think, after Just a Touch of Love.
When did he start messing with George, man?
That was I think it was around some of my best jokes.
Cause he brought that right along with him and
Yeah,
gave
yeah,
George another little boost of a different
yeah,
style of funk, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about that
Okay.
in the
All
P
right.
funk. That falls into the P funk. But that's
But
the
but
Steve
wait a
Washington.
minute. You see how it's all
Chapow,
connected?
chapow, chapow, chapow.
Wait, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And he wasn't scared to do what we love. We take it and we turn it backwards too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he
So
had that. Yeah.
I don't know who said let's turn that bass backwards. I don't know if it was George or him, but somebody said turn it backwards,
Probably both.
and just took it in another whole direction.
Yep. That backwards thing was the lick back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, but
So yeah,
like you
that's my
said,
slave.
all right, man. Well, right on. Let me share my screen for a minute, and I got another surprise for you.
I know this one gonna be good.
Well, it's all about that bow, so you kind of you made me. I said, okay, so
Now I think I know what you just from that sound right there. I think I know who you gonna pull up.
yeah, man, yeah. So I'm share my screen, and of course you can see what I got. See what I got in the keister
Now
right
that
here.
wasn't it, but I was
Oh,
close.
wasn't? Oh, okay. All right. Well, shoot. Let me make sure I got the right thing.
Oakland boy up there.
Yeah, man. So let me get a little background music going, and then we'll talk about it. Let me. Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Loud and clear.
I know we
I
was
might
talking.
have to turn it down.
Hey, you talking about moving air?
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all don't know by now who's thumping, it's the man who invented the thump. And I got some isolated tracks going on right here, so you can feel the funk all the way through and through. So this is The Jam by Grand Central Station. Of course, all y'all know Larry Graham's the leader of Grand Central Station. He was with Sly and the Family Stone. He invented the thump to make sure that he can sound like the drum and the bass at the same time. Ooh, that's Danny. What's his name? Dynamite. Turn him down a little bit. I love that they panning him from left to right too. So turn that down a little bit more. Here we go. There we go. All right, back to the bass. So he formed his own little get down Grand Central Station, right? And that was back in 1974. Yeah. And man, love some Sly and the Family Stone. They didn't make my list though. But a true noteworthy mention, definitely. If it wasn't no Sly, it would be none of this that we jamming on right here. But once Larry left, it seems like he just was able to spread his wings and fly. And this is when I got right with this song, with this album. This is when I kind of said, okay, I'm digging this, because he's letting everybody stretch out and do their thing. And Larry Graham, Oakland, California, y'all. I don't know what else can I say. I remember back in 1998 at the Concord Pavilion, Larry Graham was part of Prince's band, and that was like the last time I think I saw Prince in concert, because after that, tickets were just way too expensive. Once a ticket came over $100, I was like, Nah, that ain't happening. I love you, man, but I can't afford you. So and on one of the videos episodes, I know we talked about when we saw him at KPFA, kind of doing some repeat stuff right here, but this is just a couple of pictures from that encounter. So yeah, man, one of the baddest bands in the land, to me, was definitely this right here. And this drum break was one of the baddest drum breaks of all time. Mm.
Say, oh,
Yeah.
Sulika. They call me the Wicked.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go down the whole history of albums. I'm just letting you know that yeah, they're one of my baddest favorite bands of all time too. Grand Central Station. It was just a lot of power. You can just hear it, Larry doing this thing right there. You know, it's so funny too with these isolated tracks when he morphs into that style of playing right there. The algorithm thinks it's a guitar. It's like, that's not a bass. That's a guitar.
That's a buzzed out guitar with an octave.
But then it comes back down to the bass. So yeah, man, I'm gonna keep it moving because the clock on the wall keeps continuing to tick.